All right, you drywallers are going to tell me I'm crazy that this won't work, and whatever. I don't care. You can tell me all that stuff. That's not to you, the way you guys do it. The thing is, with regular drywall mud, this stuff, this regular topper or whatever it's called, joint compound, all those different ones, is really soft mud. It's good for sanding. It's good for building. When you're building a new building, you can't do this on a new building, okay? You need to do this where you have a reoccurring crack. So if you got a crack that keeps coming back, we've got a crack right here that keeps coming back. I'll show you one I did over a year ago, and this building has movement. They have high winds here, and what happens is the movement from the winds and from whatever structure this is, weakness here, tape, all the tapers have tried taping this and redoing it, and none of that stuff works, okay? So I'll show you another one we did last year. I can't show you the whole house, but I'll show you a couple areas. This is high net worth customer, so we can't have you guys walking around this house. But anyway, cracks up pretty high, keeps reoccurring, and you can't guarantee this is gonna work every time, but I'll just show you what we did on the other one. You V-groove cut it, and people tell you got to use tape. Depends on what kind of mud you're using. But this one's gone. There was a crack there that kept reoccurring every year, and it looked horrible. And it's completely gone from using this method. It's like I said, it's not a perfect fix. It won't stop it forever because you've got a building issue usually. This is a weakness in the structure somewhere. The wind or whatever movement causes it to keep cracking, and you'll tape it and it'll crack. Part of the reason tapers, that regular tape cracks, is because the mud's only on this thick, okay? Or it's only on maybe an eighth of an inch thick. We're putting it on almost a half inch thick because we V-groove really deep into the drywall. And I'll only do this for certain jobs, certain customers, and I tell them that it may not last. All right, so the reason we use this is I could mix up some of this, set it somewhere, it'll dry hard as a rock. It rarely ever cracks like your normal mud. So any of this fast setting joint compound, it's totally different than your regular other stuff because you're mixing it, and it's meant for like 20 minute, they have 40 minute, 5 minute, whatever. Doesn't matter which one you're using, but you got to use the fast setting when you have to mix. So if you're building a house, you can't mix up this stuff and do all your seams with it. It would be totally take you forever to do that. The cost of that would be so much, and it takes longer to sand this stuff. So this is a repair mud. All right, that's what they make it for. It's made for repairs. You put it on over that seam. So what we'll do is without any tape. Now this is where you guys are gonna go, oh no, that won't work. You gotta have tape. Every time I've used this stuff and not used tape, it's never cracked. I've had it up for 10 years, 15 years in locations. Same thing with those California patches guys do, where they leave the paper around the edge. You've only got that much mud around that stupid patch, and every time those crack. I've seen those stupid patches. I cut those things out. I cut them at a 45-degree angle. I'll cut a section of drywall out around the patch at a 45-degree angle, and I'll put hot mud on the surface and then put the same piece back in the wall, 45-degree angle. And because it has so much more surface area on there, when you put this mud on there, and this mud's harder and stronger than regular joint compound, okay, your regular joint compound, not this is joint compound, but this is fast setting. It's just stronger than that stuff. So we'll fill that in with no tape, and the thing is, because there's more surface area here and here, it's got plenty of places to bite onto. The tape's designed for when you're building a building, okay? I understand it's part of the structure, all that, right? It's part of code, okay, but we're not doing code, we're just repairing a crack and trying to get it not to reoccur. nearly as quickly. This makes it last quite a bit longer. You might get 2 or 3 or 4 years out of that crack before it comes back. It's going to come back because it's part of the structure is an issue. But having more surface area, because you got a V cut here and here, gives that hot mud more place to bite to, so it kind of bites to the old sheetrock portion of the drywall. Okay, it bites to that pretty good, especially if you brush all the old dust out of there. You got to get all the old dust out, have a nice surface, and then put this on there. You know, it'll last a bit longer on the crack. Now again, it's not a perfect fix. There's an issue with the structure of the building. It's not really an issue. It's just normal to have a weak point in a building, somewhat. So it depends on how bad the issue of it is. If it's got a really bad issue and there's a lot of movement, it might look worse than it did if you don't do it this way. Okay, it's a chance. You just got to talk to the person. If you're trying to fix it, you know, you're trying to fix an issue that, you know, is not really a paint issue. Okay, this is a problem. It could be bad lumber, or just lumber that was wet when it was put in, or just something that has movement because of whatever, some sort of movement in the building is causing the crack, because it normally shouldn't crack like that. But there's almost every structure has a crack that is reoccurring. So you can try this, you know, V-cut it and do it. It's not a perfect fix, but it does work on occasion, and it might just slow it down or give you less of a crack by just doing that. Again, you know, I removed the tape. I've tried those same cracks with mesh tape, all kinds of stuff, and they recur every time. But as soon as I do it with a hot mud with no tape, it lasts a lot longer. So anyway, here are comments on that. I know drywallers are gonna be like, oh, that's no way, that's a joke, whatever. Listen, before you say that, try it. Do this. Take a piece of drywall where, let's say you got a doorknob hole, and you got to cut out a piece of drywall, and you put in one of those California patches. Instead of putting in a California patch, cut it at a 45-degree angle all the way around where the hole is. Take a new piece of drywall, cut it at a 45-degree angle, not straight, at a 45-degree angle, if you know what I'm talking about. So the piece, you can put it in the wall and it won't fall in. You just put it in from the outside. Coat the patch with hot mud on the outside. Push it in. That'll hold it in place. Okay? Push it in. You'll have a lot of surface area for it to bite on because it's at a 45-degree angle. Okay? Put that same patch, put that piece back in the wall, and then coat over it with a coat of this, and then open the door, okay, and bang it into the same spot. It probably won't even crack around that square. That's how strong it is. Anyway, believe it or not, that's how I do it. Talk to you in the next video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and make your hate comments. That's fine. I love them.